お願いします。はい。It is not going to be a sweat session today. All right. My courses are never just a sweat session. All right. They've got some sort of project to them. Okay. So, ne jire. Anybody? Not my guys. All right. Anybody hazard a guess or knows? Ne jire. It means torsion. You either understand it, you aren't aware of it, but you do it on nearly every technique that you do. But you're not aware, sometimes you're not aware of it. And if you're not aware of it, you can't make the most of it. Yeah? So, we're going to be basically doing 3 or 4 techniques, and we're going to be trying to be aware of where that torsion is and try and make the most of it. Okay? Why? The reason why is because I'm getting old. And I'm not as fast, well, I think I am. I'm not as fast as I used to be. Because as you get old, you start to just deteriorate. You haven't got those young muscles and tendons are quite, springy when you're young, but as you get older, they start to resist. Yeah, so you have to box clever, don't you, Jim? Yeah, always. So it's trying to find these little places where you can actually generate some potential power. There's 2 types of power. There's potential and there's kinetic. Potential is where you find it, where you generate it. Kinetic is when it's released. Yeah? So that's what we're going to try and have a look at. So we'll start off doing a few basics. Yeah? And for those who don't do Wado, I'm sure you'll see, you'll be equivalent to something. All right? So we'll just see where you are, and then hopefully by the end of the course, you won't ever do a Junzuki and you won't ever do a Gakuzuki the same way again. It'll be slightly different. Yeah? And that knocks onto your katas, Naihanchi Seishan. Yeah? On how you move, how you generate that move. Okay? If it's any time you don't understand, because of my West Bromwich accent, no. Anytime you don't understand, put your hand up, because if you don't understand, there's most probably half a dozen people thinking the same as you. I don't understand that. All right? It's just that you're brave enough to stick your hand up and ask the question. Yep. Okay, so can we line up? Yeah. Okay, fit together. Right? Hey, yoy. Yeah. Try and relax. You're not here to impress me. So just try and do your Junzuki. Ready? Junzuki Dargamai. Okay, and step forward and punch. Junzuki. Ready? Try and relax. Okay, so here. Sonobate. Gakuzuki. Gakuzuki. Ready? If you can find a relaxed method of moving rather than a forced method of stepping, and when you do the Zuki, try and throw the Zuki in a relaxed manner. Throw it away. Not punching hard. Okay, ready? Yoi. Junzuki Dargamai. Kettai. Kettai Junzuki. Kick and front punch. Ready? Aish! Okay, last technique coming up, right? Then I'm going to start talking. Right, so if I talk too much, let me know, all right? So, the advanced form of Kette Junzuki is Maegeri and Tomokomizuki, but we'll use Nagash, yeah? So Maegeri and Nagash. That's the advanced form of Kette Junzuki, yeah? So yoi, re, hitari hamne going, oish! If you're doing wado, you shouldn't be in a Zenkutsu Dachi stance. When you're starting to do your carries, you need to be in Tattai Seishan. Tattai Seishan, because then your kicks, your carries are in the center. If you're in a Junzuki stance, you've got your center here. When you stand on the one leg, your center moves over to this one because you're standing on it. So that means your center's already moved, and then you're moving back here. So when you're doing a keri, try and use your Tattai Seishan. Yeah? So your kicks are always on the center line, not going from one side to the other. It's only minute, but it's still evident. Ready? So, Maegeri and Nagashizuki. Ready? Aye! Yeah? So when you do the punch, you do, yeah? Move your body. Toisaboki. Yeah? Toisaboki, then straighten up after. Ready? Aye! Okay. After. So when you step up, it shouldn't be fast. Yeah? You should be taking your time. Ready? Aye! Okay, so does everybody understand? Because as an engineer, I automatically think everybody understands torsion. Is there anybody here that doesn't understand torsion? Put your hands up if you're not. That's fine, good man. Yeah? Torsion is about rotation. But it's when it's fixed at one end and you, I did bring a spring. Okay? So if you hold the base and you twist, that's torsion, like a stud, like a bolt, and you fix it, and you put the nut down, and then when it hits the bottom, you have a tool like a torque wrench, and that puts the rotation on it. And the torque is calculated because of the shear strength of the material, where it's going to shear off. Yeah, so you don't want to shear it, you just want to... What's that got to do with karate? It means you want to try and use this torque, but not shear. You don't want to damage. And guess what I did? I've been working on this for about 2 years. I damaged my left knee. So I don't want you to do that, because I was holding the torque too long. And then we were doing Jukuren, remember? And I went over because I'd weakened it. So I don't want you to do that. That's why you have to have a relaxed move, using technicality, and then kime right at the end. That's at that point of contact. So what's that got to do with your Junzuki? The issue with this is going to be a bit difficult to show you because it's happening inside, so I'm going to try and exaggerate things. You have things in nature which you take for granted are there, but you can't really see it. It's a bit like the tides. They go out and they come back. And sometimes that's fine for everybody, but then you look at it and it's about the moon, isn't it? Yeah? But you don't really see it apart from the sea going out and the sea coming back in. So this is going to be a little bit difficult to show, but we'll go. So here this is relaxed and opened. When you do Junzuki, that's what most people do. But if you can, once you start passing this point, you hold this back. Can you see this twist that I've put in there? As you land, you release the torque. You release that twist. Yeah, so you hold this back and then you throw it. I've used that potential energy that I've generated just by holding that hip back and then releasing it. But that means you've got to be relaxed. If you don't relax and let it happen and let it throw, it's a staged relaxation of that torque. Yeah, so we bend, we get this stretch, and then we let it throw. Do you get that? Yeah, so we're going to go back and do a few Junzukis. I don't expect them to be fast. I expect you to be thinking, holding it back. You can feel it here. Then let it go. So it's not how hard you punch, it's how you use this punch. Is there anybody that doesn't understand that or doesn't understand what I've just tried to describe? Yeah? Okay, let's go back and let's do a Junzuki.